Now I hope that I proved to you that that you can actually use the unit circle and a special triangle in order to find the value of a cosine or a sine for a particular angle. In the last video, what we said was if we have a 30-degree angle, that we could use this point right here, the x and the y, to figure out what the cosine of 30 degrees is and what the sine of 30 degrees is. We said, that this is at square root of 3 over 2, comma 1/2, this point for a 30-degree angle, and we did that with the special triangle. And then what we said is this guy right here is going to be the cosine of 30 degrees, and we said that this guy right here was going to be the sine of 30 degrees. And that's pretty cool that we can do that. Now it turns out that now that we've done that together and we proved one, we're going to generalize. And what we're going to say is in general, if we pick an XY point on the unit circle, I'm going to pick one over here if you don't mind. With this point, it's going to give us the cosine of whatever the angle of interest is, and it's also going to give us the sine of that same angle. Okay, whatever this point is, whatever its coordinates are, as long as this is a circle with a radius of 1, the every point on it gives us, well, let's go ahead and let's draw this out so that we're very clear. If we take the angle from the horizontal, and we'll call it theta because that's what I used right here. If we want the cosine or the sine of this angle, all we need to do is look at the coordinates of this point. Now, some of the coordinates are very easy to find, like using the special triangle, the square root of 3 over 2 and the 1/2. Some of them are more difficult, so we won't work with those. We'll just use a calculator. And then some of them are even easier to find than these two. So let's take a look at some of the easiest ones to find. It turns out that if we want to know this guy right here is 0 degrees, and at 0 degrees, we can easily find the cosine and the sine. The cosine of 0 degrees is going to be equal to, well, it's whatever the value of x and y is here. And the value of x is 1, and the value of y is 0. Remember, this is a unit circle, so the radius is 1. So as far as x is concerned, we've gone out 1, and as far as y is concerned, we're on the x-axis, so we've gone up 0. So 1 comma 0. So the cosine must be the x. The cosine is the x. Let me go ahead and write this out. This is the x. The sine is the y. And so the cosine of 0 must be 1. And the sine of 0 degrees must be equal to 0. Now, we can verify this on our calculator, and I think you should try it on your calculator at home. But I'm going to do it for you right now just to make sure you're with me. If I go and I take 0 and I try to find the cosine, sure enough, I get 1. And if I take that same 0 and I try to find the sine of 0, sure enough, I get 0. Okay, let's try that with some other easy ones. So another possibility is this guy right up here. This is has the coordinate of x is 0, y is 1. And I'd like you guys to take a moment and try to pencil in these yourself. Put in the x and y coordinates. And then for this guy, I'll write the cosine and sine, but I'd like you guys to do it yourself for this one and for this one. So for this guy, this angle, by the way, is 90 degrees. So this is 90-degree angle. This is 180 degrees. And this down here is 270 degrees. So if we want to find the cosine of 90 degrees, the way we do it is it's equal to 0. It's just the x coordinate. It's the x coordinate is the cosine. And the sine of 90 degrees is just equal to 1. And again, we could verify this with the calculator, and we should. And so if I go ahead and punch in 90 and then try to find the cosine, I get 0, just like it says here. And if I punch in 90 and I try to find the sine, I should get 1, just like it says here. I'd like you to try this out with your own calculator, do your own experiment. You're going to try to find the coordinates of this point and the coordinates of this point, and then you're going to try to find the cosine of 180 and see if it matches the x-coordinate, and then the sine of 180 and see if it matches the y-coordinate here, and then the same thing with 270. You're going to find the cosine of 270, and hopefully it matches the x-coordinate here. And then you'll find the sine of 270, and hopefully it matches the y-coordinate. You need to do that if you want to complete your notes for this section. And I'm trying to keep the video shorter, so I'm going to stop it right here. You need to finish off the notes for this section right here.